All right, we are going to talk about one way to write a quadratic equation. Okay, so I need everyone to stop their side conversations. Here we go. We'll turn around. Here we go. Okay, so one way that you can write a quadratic equation is called vertex form. Okay, and I shouldn't hear anyone else talking right now. Okay, so that's what we are going to learn today is vertex form and how to figure out how it moves the graph of the parabola. Okay, so first things first, on the front of your light pink paper, especially when you fold it over like this, right? You're going to fold it over like I have over there on the board. Okay. So I want you to write this information that I have in this top box. So go ahead and write this information right here that I'm highlighting. Okay?
The transform box?
Yep. So no, it should be on the very front. So when you fold it over like this, it will be that top box. Okay? Fold it over. All right. Okay, I think most of you are done writing that. So this A value, or this number that's in front of the squared, do you see how we have x minus something squared? This value right here affects basically the width of the parabola, okay? If A is greater than 1, the graph gets more narrow. So it makes it, so if this is the normal x squared, sorry, that's not very pretty, but if this is the normal one, then say A is 2, it's going to be more narrow than that, right? If A is between 0 and 1, so what's something that's between 0 and 1? 0.5, 1/2, right? So if A is between 0 and 1, it gets wider. So it makes the parabola wider. And if A is negative, it reflects it vertically, which means it flips it down. So if you want to add this right here, flips it down. So instead of the parabola opening up, then if A is negative, it's going to open downward like that. Okay? So A affects the width and the direction. All right, and then H. So this H right here, I'm going to highlight in yellow. This H value right here is a horizontal shift. Okay, so in the second box down, I want you to write this. So this H is a horizontal shift. And the most important thing, do you guys see how in the formula it's x minus h? So that means the horizontal shift is going to be the opposite sign. And I'll show you an example in just a little bit. So because the formula itself is subtracting h, then this horizontal shift is actually, it's going to be the opposite sign, okay? And then K, let me get a different color here. This K value right here, this is a vertical shift. So it shifts it up or shifts it down. Right? So H goes left or right because it's horizontal shift, left or right. K goes up or down. And then the point HK is the vertex of the parabola. I'm going to tell you what that is in just a second. So then I would make sure you write H, comma, K is the vertex. Does everyone have that added? So on my picture of the parabola here on the left side, the lowest point or the highest point, okay, wherever it changes direction, that is the vertex. So this is the vertex of the parabola, is wherever, so if it's going down and then it goes back up, the vertex is that point. All right? If the parabola is open down, then the vertex would be that highest point right here. All right? So it just depends on if it's opened up or if it's opened down. All right? But the vertex is that lowest point on the U, or highest point. Okay? So now that we kind of have what the vertex form looks like, let's do an example. Okay? So here is our function. We have f of x equals x minus 1 squared minus 3. So this would be our a value. I'm going to write it. What the heck did that just... I don't know what just happened there. Undo. That's weird. Okay, so this is the a value, right, which is an invisible 1 right now. This is the h right here, and this is the k. Because we have the a times x minus h squared plus k. So that's our format that we're going to use to identify these things. So the vertex will always be hk, and h will always be its opposite sign because it's minus. So the vertex here is going to be a positive 1 because we're going to do the opposite sign of that negative 1. So it's going to be a positive 1. And what is k? Negative 3. So it'll be 1, negative 3 is the vertex of this parabola. So we're going to go over 1, right 1, down 3. We're going to plot that point. And then a equals this invisible 1, right? There's no other number in front of the parentheses, right? So that means the parabola, since it's just a positive 1, is just going to open up and be the normal width of the regular x squared. So we're just going to sketch it like this with the normal width. Does it have to be perfect right now? So now we are going to describe, well, what transformation? So the parent function is just the normal x squared, okay? So from the normal x squared, what has happened to this one? It shifted where? So the normal parent function has the vertex at 0, 0, 0. So this one has been shifted what? I need everyone sitting up, ladies. Come on, sit up. Right 1, down 3. So it's been shifted right 1 unit, down 3. So that's what we're going to write. It's just right 1, and then it went down 3. Okay, so that's just the first example. Let's open up your foldable notes, and this should be the next one. X minus 2 squared minus 4. Is everyone looking at the one I am? Okay, this one right here, it didn't have it on the last example. I don't know why. But this one graphed right now is the parent function. This is just the normal x squared, okay? So now we are going to figure out, this would be our a value. This is our h. This is our k. So if the vertex is h comma k, remember h is always the opposite sign. So is h a positive 2 or a negative 2? It's actually a positive 2. Yes, because in the formula it's always subtract. So h is going to be a positive 2. And then the vertical shift is whatever number's being added or subtracted that's out of the parentheses. So the vertical shift is what? Negative 4. So it's going to be 2, negative 4. So then we're going to plot that point. We'll go right 2, down 4. Now, how do we know if the parabola opens up or opens down? What part of the equation tells us? Yeah, the A. So if this A is negative, it's going to flip down. If this A, which is right now this invisible 1, is A is positive, it just stays up. So then it's just a normal width and it's facing up. So we just want to try to make it the same width as this one that I highlighted in yellow. So just try to make it the same width as that other one. Right? It's not very pretty, but... Okay, so what transformations have occurred from the yellow one to the one we just graphed? So it went right.
It went right and down.
Yep, right 2 units and down 4. Yep. And we can tell that right away by whatever H and K is. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Next one now, so what is our A value with this one? A is 2. H is what? Is it negative 2 or is it positive 2? Positive 2. And then what's K? Is there a number being added or subtracted to this one? No. So K is 0. So the vertex is going to be positive 2, because remember, we do opposite sign for H. So it's a positive 2, 0, because there's no number being added or subtracted. All right, so we're going to go right 2. So there's our point, 2, 0. Now, is that where A is 2? Is it going to make it more narrow or wider? Narrow. So if A is greater than 1, it's going to make it more narrow. So let's graph a parabola, because this is our parent function, right? So we want to make it a more narrow than that one. So we're just going to make it a little more narrow than the parent function, okay? Okay, so transformations. What has happened from the yellow to the purple one I have up here?
So it's only right 2.
Right 2, but what else? What else has changed?
Narrow.
Yep, narrower, or you could write more narrow, whichever one. Questions so far on these parabolas? Okay, all right, so let's keep chugging along here. Let's do this one. So we want to, identify A as 1/2. Oh, is there an H? No, there's nothing being subtracted in the parentheses, right? So A is 1/2, H is 0, and what is K? -4. All right, so if we were write the vertex, HK, what is our vertex? 0, -4. All right, so we know we're going to go just down 4 to plot the vertex. Now, is this 1/2 going to make it more wider? Wider, okay? So it's going to make it wider. Is it going to flip it down yet? No, because it's a positive A. So it's still going to... So then transformations, we want to say it went down 4 and wider, because A is 1/2. So we just want to make it more wide when we graph it. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys a head start on this one. So see if you can identify A, H, and K, and then find the vertex from there. Okay, so I'll give you a head start. Alrighty. Can someone who I haven't heard from yet, somebody help me with the vertex? What do you think? H is the opposite sign. So is H going to be 3 or -3? -3. Good job. And is there a number being added or subtracted? No. So then it's going to be 0. So -3, 0, which is right there. Now, what is this A value, this -1? How's that going to affect the parabola? Well, it'll go left 3, but what does the negative do in front? Flip it down. So it's going to flip it down. So then parabola will be graphed something like that. So then we can say it went left 3 units, and then you could say flip down or reflected over the x-axis. Either one. So if you just want to write flip down, then that's fine. Alrighty. Questions on that one? Okay, so what about this next one? -2 times x minus 1 squared plus 1. So the A value's -2. What is H? Is H +1 or -1? +1, because it's always going to be the opposite sign. Good. And K is just the +1 that's being added. So the vertex is going to be 1, 1. Right? Because H, opposite sign, so it's going to be +1. +1 is the vertex. And what is this -2 going to do? It's going to reflect it down. So it's going to be flipped down. And what is the 2? Is it going to make it more narrow or wider? More narrow. Yes. Yes, you guys are getting the hang of it. So we're going to go 1, 1. It flips down and it's more narrow. So transformations. We went right 1, up 1, and reflected or flipped down. Oh, yes, and more narrow. Thank you for reminding me. And more narrow, if I can spell narrow. Yep, and the higher that number is, like if the number was 3 or 4, then it would get skinnier and skinnier, okay? Okay, the last one I want to show you, what if it was written like this? Because on your practice, you might have some that look like this. 2. Okay, so instead of writing it this way, what if it looked like this? Had 2 in front and then minus and then the parentheses.
It would be 2 and then there's a -1 before the parentheses.
Yeah, so if it was in this form, you know, they just put K in front.
Yeah, so it's K then.
So K is the what? 2.
And -1 is A.
Yep, A is the -1.
And then
K is 2.
And then H is 1.
H is, if it's +1, then what is H? Oops. -1. So sometimes you may see they put the K in front of the squared. All right, so you just need to be able to recognize that. And so I want you guys to fill out the rest of this information. I want you to write the vertex, transformations, graph it. Okay, I will give you a head start. Alrighty, so HK is the vertex. So that means H is -1, right? Because it's the opposite sign. K is that number that's being added or subtracted. So it's going to be 2. Right? So the vertex is -1, +2. And What is this a of -1? How does that affect the graph, the u? It just flips it down, right? Is it going to be the same width as this one? Yes, because it's just still -1. All right, so then we're going to say this parabola went left 1, up 2, and then flipped down. Right? With the same width as the other one. Any questions? All right, so let's pause there for a second. Go ahead and glue that on page 35 now if you haven't glued it in yet. And then I'll explain your practice assignment, okay?